sat in that chair before and he's put up the thought, perhaps you ought to leave some back because it's a 50-50 game at Cardinia Park. Do you see his logic, or do you even embrace thinking it through?
Nah, we'll go down there with a side. We'll pick our best available side, playing to win.
How much of a better side are you from when you last played Geelong, do you think?
Oh, look, I think we've improved in a number of areas, and that's been documented through our performances in recent times. But we're going to see how far come Saturday night. It's a great test. Geelong down at Skilled Stadium is a good test. We had a good chat about it this morning. Went through the opposition side of things. So they're playing some really good footy and a really strong team. And again, another team that's strong in all areas. And we learned some things from last time we played them, and we think we've improved some areas of our game. And we'll get a chance to find that out Saturday night.
You've been in footy a long time. Why do hoodoos come about? Especially it's been such a long time. I know you don't play every year in Geelong, but why do they come about, do you think?
I think they come about if you've got a really good team that plays really well at home, whether it's West Coast or Geelong. And I don't think there's any. I think the Hoodoo is a bit of a myth, to be honest. I think it's just they're a strong team. They play really well at home, and they have done for a number of years.
So is it about playing Geelong and not playing Cardinia Park?
Oh, it's a combination of playing our way, I think, as well as we identify. Every game we'll identify the opposition and where they're strong and where there's areas we think we can exploit them, and even the grounds. We talk differently about playing at Skilled Stadium versus maybe at the MCG versus Subi versus our home ground. So there's minor adjustments you make based on opposition and ground, but the majority of our time will be focused on how we play, and then adapting that to those two factors, and away we go.
So when you're working in business, you get situations where you look at strengths, weaknesses. If we have this again, how did the group respond after the Geelong loss? How did you see the way they handled it?
Yeah, they were really good. I mean, we had a really good review of that game, and it came after not only the Geelong game but the Bulldogs game. And there were some things which we spoke about we need to improve on, and as in everything, we went through some education, we went through some training, and we drilled it, and the guys got about getting to work to improve those areas, which is just normal process in terms of assessing things that you want to work on.
And yourself, how did you handle it?
Oh, look, I remain really positive, to be honest. We weren't sort of sitting there down the mouth. We didn't play particularly well in either of those games, but there were some areas of our game that we needed to get better at. So from a coaching viewpoint, it's not just me, it's the entire coaching group. We had a really good, robust discussion about, well, what is it? What's been caused, the cause of it, and how do we adjust it, and how do we give the players the best method to be able to improve in that area? And to the players' credit, they've embraced it and have improved. As I said, we'll find out how far on Saturday night.
When you told us earlier in the year about that experience at West Coast last year, round 6, Port Adelaide, Adelaide Oval, set something going with the Eagles. Is there a moment with Adelaide?
I haven't actually reflected on that at this point. I think we've just been building the way we want to play and a real clear picture for the players, and they've now got a sense of sort of how we play and what can create success and winning, and that's the way we want to go about playing. So that's an ongoing process, and that changes through personnel and through week to week and through form, and we try and make it as consistent as possible from a coaching group.
You don't think there's a defining game?
No, I haven't seen one. Not that I've reflected on it at this point, no.
Is feedback from the players, that message from the coaching panels getting clearer and clearer as the season progresses?
Well, I haven't really gone to the players in terms of, I think, the leadership group we speak to regularly. I think they're comfortable with, obviously the style we're playing, the results they're obviously getting is it's like most things in life. If you're doing the work and you're getting the results, it's pretty easy to see that that's a chain you want to be involved in. So they're on board, which is great. But we don't sit here saying we're satisfied. We sit here going, we've still got areas we want to improve on, and that'll never change. I'm pretty confident. You're never going to see a coach sit and say, oh, look, we think we've got all this done. I'd reckon every coach is always looking, how do we get better here, there, both individually and collectively.
Don, one thing that has changed is expectation. You go from, even you were saying at the start, it's about improving, but now it's second position, a winning streak, people favouring Adelaide.
Yep.
So now you get expectation. How do you want the group to handle that?
Oh, I think it's part of your journey to being good. There is a reality. We're still down the path of wanting to improve. I mean, we haven't achieved the level of wins we had last year, for instance. We haven't made technically maybe made the finals. It's about now trying to get our best position in the finals. So the next 6 weeks are really pivotal for us. But we'll take it very much as we have all year, week by week. And we've got Geelong this week. It's an opportunity to go down there and play some good footy. In terms of the expectations, it doesn't really change. I think that's an external thing. Internally, we focus on what we can do and we control what we can control.
Does the external reach internal, though? That's the reality of sporting culture for years and years. Eventually external things do internally. So how do they handle it?
Well, it can do. I mean, that's something we don't shy away from. We discuss with the players about understanding that really the internal workings of our footy club in terms of how we review a game, how we assess each other's performance, how we work on components of our game style is really the big moving pieces. The rest of it is part of the focus on the industry we play in, and that's to be accepted. But it really is opinion in a lot of cases. The real opinions that matter are the ones that are inside the four walls of the footy club in terms of the feedback for the players and how we're tracking, and that's through wins and losses.
So you're not afraid to sort of be discussing finals at this point, even though you're obviously taking a week at a time, but sort of the conversation about finals and about staying focused and all that sort of thing, are you not afraid to sort of be having that conversation?
Oh no, look, I think history would say that 12 wins will get you a finals position. We've won 12 games last week. Where we finish to put ourselves in the best position for the finals is going to be dependent upon how we perform in the next 6 weeks. So reality is we tick a small box and we go, great, where are we at? In 6 weeks' time, we'll know where it looks like in terms of our position in the finals. And in order to do that, we've got to keep playing well and keep winning games of footy.
So on that, Don, if you tick that small box, you know what the next 6 weeks bring, the draw's there. What should you be achieving in those 6 weeks in terms of win, loss and position on the ladder? I'm not into, I haven't been since day one into crystal balling what it looks like on the way through. I've said all along, there's no easy games in this competition, so I don't look beyond Geelong. Right now, our focus is right on Geelong, play them on Saturday night, and then we'll reassess from there as we go. Okay, I'll ask you differently. What opportunity do you have? What's the opportunity that you have?
Well, the opportunity clearly is to win as many games as possible to give yourself the best finish possible. But, reality is, you can't win the week after next until you actually play this week. So we're not in a position to go and look too far ahead. We've got to really stay focused on what we can control. What we can control is this week and our effort and our attitude about playing Geelong.
You mentioned you had room for improvement. What areas specifically?
It's pretty much all areas. We take away from the weekend's game against Collingwood some times in the game where our ball movement wasn't probably the level we wanted. And we keep working on our team defence. So it's not really one specific thing, and it's more just generally keep tweaking how we're playing. And as you go throughout the year, the game itself changes. Opposition who are now scouting us are changing the way they're playing against us. So our ability to adapt to those situations is probably what you learn on the way through. So each game gives you a learning opportunity, and that's how we see it.
Don, what you said about Scout, Nathan Buckley's line at the end of Saturday night's game that Adelaide has a distinctive way of playing its attack. Was he right, and what's he meaning?
I don't know, you'd have to ask Nathan.
But do you have a distinctive way of your attack? Do you think you've found something different?
No, I don't think we found anything different. I think most sides have got a way they play. I think we found a way we play. I'd generalise it with that, whether it's in our attack or defence. But the reality is we've got to do that and do that better than the opposition. So there's no great secrets out there. It's more just your ability to do it for longer, and do it better.
Can it stand up to that sort of extra attention it's going to get now? Or do you need to...
We'd hope so, but we're going to find out.
So, Eddie Betts, he's spoken about having some wrist soreness and struggling to pick stuff up around the house and that sort of thing. How much of a concern is that? Is he going to be right to get up this week?
No, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. I think it's just a thing they're managing. I don't think it's certainly not going to put him in any jeopardy of playing. It's just one of those annoying things that's hanging around.
Was it just in a contest?
I actually don't know how he did it. I saw him with the guard on, and I thought, well, and I've been assured it's just a minor thing which they're just managing.
So managing, does that include resting him at some point?
No, he's fine. He's fine.
So as the season goes on, from your point of view, and the clubs are learning more and more about you, and the way that you guys are playing, do you feel that they are taking you on differently now as they learn more? Do you sense that from your
Yeah, I'm not sure it's exactly down that path. I think it's more, each side has their own DNA of how they play, and they adapt on a week-to-week basis, and we're no different. But most of the time, the sides we've played against have done things which are in keeping with what they've done in previous weeks. So it's very hard these days to go down the path of completely changing how you want to play week to week. It's so most people have their way they want to play, and they do some subtle things against us different. But that's why we've got to be flexible enough and adaptable enough to adjust. And some of that's pre-game, some of that's during game. And look, there's going to be big challenges coming up ahead. We understand that. So we've got to prepare the players and educate them so that we can make those changes on game day that to mean we don't maybe get exposed to something which we don't see coming.
And just on that, given Geelong last time when they did get you guys, and I know you're not going to tell us what it was, but did you see enough in what they did then that you've improved enough to cope with some of that this time around with it?
Oh, I think the way Geelong played really well last time against us at Adelaide Oval, and we learned some things from that game. But that was how Geelong play and have played and continue to play. And when they're playing really well, they're a really powerful footy team. And so it gives you a bit of an insight as to what they did 9-10 weeks ago. But I think we've come forward a little bit from there as well and certainly improved. So, as I said, really good test come Saturday night.
How do their DNA is marks inside 50? How do you deal with that?
I'll stop the ball getting in there. Yeah, I think we're in a. We want to make sure from a midfield viewpoint, and a lot of the games are won and lost through midfield and the battle and around the contest, and we've got to be able to slow their ball movement down to not allow that ball to get in quick to allow them to take those marks, and that becomes a bit of our focus on the way through.
Dangerfield's in super hot form. I think last time Sloane and him had a good battle. Do you
Yep.
expect that to play out again at some stage?
Oh, look, there's a chance those two will run across each other, I imagine, in a midfield battle. But it's not only Dangerfield. I think last time we had Selwood, we got Guthrie, Motlop, Bartel, Duncan, Blixabs. There's a whole range through there. So you've got to be careful we don't focus on one individual. We're very aware of the depth of their midfield. So it's a terrific challenge for our midfield that's been in some good form.